Hello and welcome to Pictorial Planet. We've all had drying marks on negatives, but how do we stop getting them in the first place? Well, let's see how. First of all, let's just talk about how we get watermarks on our film in the first place. There's three ways we get them. Carryover of chemistry from the development process. Chemicals that are already dissolved in the water we're using to clean our film. And finally, we may get them from our rinse aid. So let's take those one step at a time. Carryover of chemistry. Now this might be more common than you think, because if you're overusing your fix, you may be creating a problem where there's insoluble halides in the film that are being carried over into the wash. So we don't want that to happen. So always use fix that is inside of its working life. Secondly, we talked about water. Now, this is the biggie to me. A lot of water that we use from our taps has got chemicals already dissolved in it. If you live in a hard water area and you get that white film building up inside of your kettle, it's because of calcium that's dissolved in the water. And those calcium deposits can end up on your film. And they're very hard to get rid of once you've got them on your film. So we need to use as clean a water as possible. I'm very lucky here in Scotland. The water that I'm using out of the tap is very clean and doesn't have anything dissolved in it. So I actually find I don't need to do anything with the water. But some people may find that they need to use deionized water instead of tap water, especially for their last rinse of the film. Finally, the rinse aid. This is one of those things, these rinse aids, that less is more. And some of the instructions for rinse aids actually tell you to put so many milliliters of this per liter of water. Well, I don't take any notice of that because in my experience, less is more with these. So I like LFN and I also like Ilford-Ilfitol. But there's Kodak Photo Flow as well, so it's an excellent rinse aid. And I use one single drop, just one drop, in a 35mm tank like this, which I use about 400ml of liquid. If I'm doing a 120 film, I use about 600ml of liquid, and I put 1 to 2 drops of this, no more. All you need to do with this is to add just enough to break the surface tension of the water on the negatives when you pull them out. And that way, the water will run off more cleanly from the negatives and leave no marks at all. So, let's just recap. Make sure we're not using spent fixer. We've got to keep our fixer within its working life. Then when we rinse and wash our film, make sure that we're using as clean a water as possible. And if that means filtering your water first, or using a deionized water, then do that. Finally, for your very last rinse, after you've washed the film, pour in about 400, in this case for 35mm, or about 600ml of clean water, deionized if necessary, and add one single drop of LFN or Ilford-Ilfitol or Kodak Photo Flow, or any other reputable rinse aid. Hang the negatives up to dry in a dust-free place. Now this is the last bit I'm going to talk about. A dust-free place, what does that mean? Well, the best dust-free place you've probably got, if you don't have a special film drying cabinet, is your shower. If you run the shower hot for a minute and get that shower room steamed up, the dust that's in the air will get heavy with water and will be dragged down to the ground. That makes the shower room dust-free. You can then hang your film up in the shower and leave it to dry. There's a second advantage in that because it actually dries the film more slowly because the air is full of moisture, and that's good for the film. Drying a film slowly is good for the film. Drying it too quickly is not good for the film. So there you have it. How to stop getting those drying marks. I have not had drying marks on my films for years, and it's only because I use this technique. I hope that's useful for you. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you on Friday.